everyone, my name is Christine and welcome to today's Clean Out the Freezer Cook With Me video. Now I did an entire meal plan for everything I planned on making for this video. If you haven't seen it yet, I will leave it down below in the box for you. I will also have recipes for everything that I make in today's video down in the description box as well, so you can go check it out and make it for your family if you are so inclined. Now throughout today's video, you are going to see me using a new-ish to me pan. It is this brand new 10-inch non-stick pan from Misen, and I bring it up because Misen is sponsoring today's video. So I've been using this pan for several weeks now, and I want to tell you a little bit about it before you see me cooking with it for an entire week. Now, I worked with Misen before, and I'm sure you've seen me use my favorite chef knife, which is from them. I also have a new fancy paring knife and a whole bunch of steak knives that I bought for myself actually. So I have been using their products for quite some time, and I'm always impressed by the premium quality at budget prices. This Misen nonstick pan has a coating that lasts 2.5 times longer than other nonstick pans that can cost twice as much. It has an even heating with a 4.22 millimeter thick aluminum base. Cheaper nonstick pans do not use the unique plasma primer that the Misen pan does, which helps the nonstick coating last so long. Now I know what you're wondering, can this pan be cooked on high heat? And can it go in the oven? And yes, my friends, it can. It can be used on induction, gas, electric, and is oven safe for up to 450 degrees. In fact, I did that myself, and you're gonna see it in this video. I have been enjoying all of Misen's products that I have been using for the last several months. And if you wanna purchase any of them, the nonstick pan, the stainless skillet, the chef knife, the paring knife, the steak knives, and a whole other array of items, they're gonna give you 20% off. All you have to do is go to the first link in the description box, use the code FFM for 20% off your first order. And you can pick between this awesome pan, the knives, link in the description, FFM, 20% off your first order. Thank you so much to Misen for sending me this awesome pan and letting me experience these high quality kitchen tools, and let's get to cooking. Time to get crack-a-lackin' with the fire. Now I'm starting this night with this Brussels sprouts and bacon situation that I picked up from Sam's Club on clearance. Once again, if you did not see that meal plan and haul, I will leave it down below in the box. And I just thought this would make a nice side dish for the sausages that I was gonna cook that night. So I went ahead and stuck it in the oven. Spoiler here is the box looks a lot better than it ended up being. It was really disappointing. I felt like I could have made it myself at home and had it taste better. So just a lesson from me to you, don't buy frozen Brussels sprouts. They're never gonna work. Searing all of my sausages in my Misen pan, and I have a couple of these Buffalo Ranch salad kits. I thought I would mix 2 of them together for my family for the night as a side. This is a delicious salad kit. This was a huge hit with everybody. They had these like crunchy, spicy croutons and this spicy Buffalo Ranch dressings, really delicious. And this is actually quite a large mixing bowl, so it easily fed the 7 of us as a side. Now it's finished with my Beyond Meat sausages, so these are actually the real bratwurst that I seared in the pan and then stuck it in the oven to finish cooking, along with the Brussels sprouts that you can kind of see right above that. And that's about all the things I needed to cook. I mean, it's relatively a simple meal, but honestly, sometimes simple meals are the best. So here are the sausages, the brats and the Beyond sausage, and my verdict on the Beyond sausages is that they're okay. Nowhere close to real sausage. They do not taste the same. And here's the finished plate. Everyone loved it. And it was time to make some cookies. I had these mint fudge flavored baking chips that I had picked up from Walmart, so I decided to just use my standard chocolate chip cookie recipe and sub out some of the flour with cocoa powder to make a chocolate dough. And as you can see, I forgot to do that when I was trying to mix this up. I don't know what was the matter with me. I will leave my standard chocolate chip cookie recipe down below for you. I was having all sorts of issues with this batter tonight. It was really, really dry. It must have been a dry day because I didn't change anything from normal, but it was so crumbly and would not come together. So I did add a little bit of water and an extra egg yolk just to give it a touch more moisture. As I was adding mint chips, I felt like they were super, super sweet. So I got some salted roasted almonds, ground them up in my little Ninja and added those as well, just to balance out the sweetness of these mint flavored chunks. So I'd have a little bit of salty to go with the sweet, so it would tone down the super, super sugary flavor a little bit. Then I scooped them out on a couple of cookie sheets. I love this little scoopy guy. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. And I love cooking cookies or doing kind of any baking on parchment paper, it just makes the cleanup an absolute breeze. And they were pretty tasty. Next up is taco salad, and I gotta be honest, this is definitely a go-to meal for me. People ask me that sometimes, what's a go-to meal when you don't feel like cooking? I feel like this one is so easy. You just mix up the meat with a packet of taco seasoning. It's a piece of cake, and this is 2 pounds of meat in that 10-inch mise en skillet. Pull out some chips, make some salad. It's a total winner in my house. My kids love this meal because they can build it however they want, and they can put whatever they like in their bowl. Next up, I am doing a spaghetti with homemade ragu sauce, and I had made this ragu sauce, I think 2 months ago, and the recipe had made so much that I was like, I am never going to finish all this. So I stuck it in the freezer ever since and just reheated it basically in my skillet, and it was as delicious as I remember. So if I can find that recipe for you, I will link it down below. This was so good. Cooked up some fresh green beans in my air fryer. Tyler prepped those for me. And if you guys are interested in a pasta pot like this, I love this thing. I will link the one I have down below. It was on sale when I bought it, so it was a pretty good deal, but I don't know what it costs now. So I put the pasta and the sauce with a couple of packets of fresh Parmesan cheese that I had left over from a meal box kit. They were in my fridge. I thought this was the perfect application. So I opened those up, dumped them in here, mixed everything together, and this was one of the most delicious spaghettis I've ever had in my life. So I think for my own sanity, I need to go back and find that ragu sauce and share it with you and write it in the book. You know what I'm saying? Here are the green beans. I gave those a little shake in the middle of cooking. Back in for another 6 minutes. And then it was time to put together my Asian kale salad. This was really yummy. They had this like lemon garlic vinaigrette dressing that was really good. Mix all of that together. I am loving these packaged salads as an easy side dish for a dinner. This would work so well for a busy working mom or a family that's on the go all the time. You just want to have something super quick. And because it's kale, it would store in a Tupperware really well. Here's the finished dinner. So good. Up next, I am cooking my garlic balsamic crock pot pork loin dish. So first of all, I am mixing up a dry rub essentially, and the instructions do say to coat the meat and then sear it in a pan, but honestly, I was in a hurry and I didn't feel like doing that. I was extra efficient that day, so I just decided to give it a little sprinkle in the crock pot and call it good. Yes, this is 6 pounds of pork loin roast in my crock pot. It's a lot. Next up, I am mixing up the balsamic glaze, which is Italian seasoning, balsamic vinegar. I think it's olive oil. I'm trying to remember everything that went into this. Can't remember all of it, but I will have the recipe down below for you. And then in the crock pot, we're going to add some chicken stock and then top it with this balsamic glaze. And it doesn't cook very long, honestly. I cooked it on high for about 3 hours and it was done. So if you went on low, I would say 5 to 6 hours because it is pork loin, not a pork like shoulder roast. So if you overcook it, it will get very tough. Let's talk side dishes for the pork roast. Now, as much as I would like to eat just a big hunk of meat for dinner, we probably should eat some vegetables. I am dumping this huge, almost 2-pound bag of stir-fry vegetables in my skillet. And don't worry, I know it looks like a lot, but it does cook down quite a bit. So I just have some olive oil in here and I add some salt and pepper. Once the pork is done, I pulled it out of the crock pot and sliced all of the little roast pieces and then put them back in the warm liquid and sauce. It's not cooking anymore. It's just staying warm with all of the juice, so it stays nice and moist for dinner. Here is everything I ended up cooking. I did some mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot, which I think go perfectly with any kind of roast, honestly. Delicious with this. Here are my sauteed veggies, and I did make a side salad with some vegetable remnants I found in my fridge. Next up, I requested that my mom make her apple crisp. The recipe I use is her recipe. I had this huge box of Honeycrisp apples that were sitting there, and I have not met an apple that did not taste good in an apple crisp. So we did actually make 4 of these. I mean, why only make 1 when you can make 4? If you agree with me, give this video a thumbs up. My hair is not okay.
It's all right.
So I have a story about this apple crisp right here. Yes, I do have a recipe linked down below. When Dave and I got married, I think I made this apple crisp. This is my mom's recipe. And it's delicious. And I don't care who you are and you think yours is better, you're wrong. This one's the best. Just so we're clear.
It's been perfected.
It has been perfected. It is so good. So I made it for Dave and I when we were, I don't know, newlyweds, married a year or 2. It's so good. And I don't know how to make a small amount of this. I say, what's the point? If you're gonna make it, go big or go home. I had it, and I think I served myself a bowl for breakfast the next morning. And Dave comes in, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm having breakfast. He goes, you can't have apple crisp for breakfast. And I'm sitting here like, and why not? Tell me, in what way is oatmeal and apples worse for you than donuts or pancakes with syrup or sugar cereal? You'll never convince me. Do you eat apple crisp for breakfast now?
When I'm not dieting.
The answer is yes. Yes, he does. I hope you enjoyed cooking with me this week, and as a reminder, I do have all those recipes down below for you. Everything was delicious. We've really been enjoying all of the fruits and vegetables that we've been putting into our diet, and I especially enjoy it when my mom makes dessert. So one more thank you to Mizan for sending me this amazing pan to use in this week's video, and one more time, if you want to check them out, go to the first link in the description box, use the code FFM for 20% off your first order, off of the pans or the knives or whatever it is that you would like to purchase for your kitchen. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.